Today, supporters and opponents of a proposed referendum on Maine transgender athletes sharing their reactions.
As we first told you yesterday, the measure may not make Maine's November ballot. News Center Maine's Alex Haskell live in our studio with the latest details. Hi, Alex.
Hi, Brian. Hi, Amanda. Well, as we told you yesterday, an official with the Maine Secretary of State's office recommended keeping the referendum off the November ballot after identifying thousands of invalid petition signatures, leaving it short of the number needed to qualify. While supporters of the referendum say they plan to challenge that recommendation, opponents are calling it a hopeful step forward.
They're picking on transgender kids, which are probably the most vulnerable population we have in this state.
Equality Maine Executive Director Gia Drew is welcoming Thursday's recommendation from Maine Chief Deputy Secretary of State Catherine McBrien. McBrien says petitioners failed to collect enough valid signatures for their proposed referendum, which would bar transgender students from accessing sports teams, bathrooms, and locker rooms that align with their gender identity.
For those of us who are on the side of making sure people follow the law and the regulations and democracy, and we want to make sure that kids get to go to school and feel safe and welcome, I think this is a really powerful first step.
In her 42-page recommendation, McBrien says the group Protect Girls Sports in Maine submitted more than 67,000 valid signatures, but also more than 12,000 invalid ones. According to the recommendation, that leaves the campaign 532 signatures short of the total needed to qualify for the ballot. McBrien's report outlines many reasons signatures were rejected, including thousands being duplicates.
However your feelings are on this issue, we want the process to be fair and accurate and have integrity.
The group behind the referendum declined News Center Maine's request for an interview, but says in a statement, Protect Girls Sports in Maine is reviewing the recommended decision closely. We are continuing our defense of the Protect Girls Sports ballot measure and will be filing our objections to the recommended decision before the May 23rd deadline.
What a relief.
Drew says despite the recommendation, they're still preparing for the possibility the measure could appear on the November ballot.
We want to make sure that all kids get to go to school and be themselves.
So the final decision now rests with Maine Secretary of State Shenna Bellows, who is expected to determine next Tuesday whether the referendum will appear on Maine's November ballot. News Center Maine did interview Bellows yesterday. She was not willing to comment on this. Amanda and Brian.
Alex Haskell live in our studio with the update today. Alex, thank you.